Okay, David, from here on up, it's good. Imam, from here on up, it's good. Watch your heads and watch your feet. I explain the rules in the dress room. Protect yourself at all times and obey my commands at all times. Want to touch up, you already did. Back to the corners.
So Imam Khataev, who's built like a brick, taking on David Morrell, who said this week, I've got bricks in my fist. Something has got to give between these two light heavyweights who both are desperate for a knockout on this big stage here in Flushing Meadows, New York. Louis Armstrong Stadium, the first ever boxing card held here at this venue. 12 rounds. Here we go.
In 10 fights, this is Khataev's first southpaw, which is surprising to me. And this is the type of southpaw that you don't want to be facing. A long, strong, young fighter in Morrell that's coming off his best fight, with Benavidez. He's gonna a tall mountain to climb for Imam Khataev.
But boy, if Khataev can land those shots, you can tell he's a slow puncher, more flat-footed. But if he lands, he can hit hard.
It's gonna be winging shots for Khataev. And I would probably think that he wants to punch with Morrell, because since he's outsized and right now they're battling for the front foot position, looping the shots and going upstairs and down just like Khataev is doing. That's a good game plan.
And you saw Morrell stick his tongue out. Not sure if he was saying that didn't hurt me or a good shot.
Yeah, David Morrell, Todd, is one of my favorite kind of fighters. He's the kind of guy that has a great jab and the footwork to fight defensively, but he wants to deliver his own punishment.
This is actually for 10 rounds, not for 12. Not a world title bout, but Khataev having a pretty successful round one here.
Yeah, he is. He has that high guard, and he's punching with that right hand. So he's not really trying to exchange combinations with Morrell, which is smart. Right now, he's just trying to catch those shots and wing at the right time.
Well, Khataev wins almost exclusively in the early rounds, but the glaring exception was his last fight, when he was pushed to the distance by a journeyman named Duval Palacio, who was 14-3. The scorecards were very wide for Khataev, but Mike, that does not tell the story.
No, that was a brutal fight, Todd. That was a slugfest. Palacio had some big moments in that fight. And I want to see what Khataev learned from that experience. He was the guy that people were talking about as a boogeyman training in Canada.
That was the first time he'd ever been past round number 7 as Morrell lands a left.
You can see Morrell's getting a little bit more aggressive on that front foot, trying to go around the guard with a left hand. Instead of using those long arms and staying with a 1-2 with the Cuban style that's very responsible, he's coming aggressive around the guard. And Khataev is taking those hooks really well right now. Strong fighters, Khataev.
And Imam was cut badly in his last fight, so keep an eye on that. Morrell having a good second half to this opening round.
Yeah, he is, because he's fighting behind that jab. He felt the strength of Khataev, and he says, I got to soften him up before I can go for the knockout. So it's smart of him to go back and assess things and pop him with that jab, start slowing him down.
There's some clubbing right hands for Khataev. This is where he can be dangerous on the inside, and he lands a right. And that just makes Morrell fire back. Good stuff here in round one.
Those are two good right hands, punching between the shots. Khataev is a clever, strong fighter. Good body shots.
Morrell has the power, Mike, to make this either a boring fight or an exciting one, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's decided, Todd, that he's definitely going to make this an exciting fight. He got ripped with a few good body shots to end that round.
Well, speaking of powerhouses, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, the 2025 Club World Cup Final. PSG versus Chelsea. Odds makers have installed Paris Saint-Germain as a clear favorite as they chase a historic 5th trophy of the season. But can Chelsea defy the odds and deliver a classic underdog upset? Find out live tomorrow on DAZN. Me and Sergio flirting with maybe going to that game.
I think so, but we got a birthday party to attend.
We gotta be smart.
Shout out to Lena.
Корпус — это твоя основа. Дубли корпус всегда идут.
Very entertaining opening round. Let's see if the two fighters settle down here in the second. I sure hope not.
No, I already have respect for Khataev as well. He threw the right punches, and you could tell that he's a strong, heavy-handed fighter, and Morrell's gonna have to be very careful with him. Guys like this, you gotta slow them down with short shots. You don't want to exchange, and you definitely don't want to stay against the ropes. Morrell, spinning away and pivoting nicely right now.
Mike, is Morrell playing with fire here in the early rounds?
Absolutely. I think he needs to create some more distance with his jab, with his footwork. He's really fighting in a phone booth, and I don't think that favors his style.
Ikhateev dealt with some real low energy in his last fight in the late rounds. And when you throw as hard as he does, Sergio, you're going to gas out quick. What will happen, though, if he does that against Morrell in rounds 7, 8, 9, and 10?
Well, that's the thing about muscular fighters. Everyone thinks because you have big muscles, you punch harder, but that's actually not the case. It slows you down. So when you miss, you fall off balance, and that muscle turns against you. That weight turns against you.
Yeah, but you never had big muscles, and you never hit hard.
No, I do not. I was a skinny, tall, fast fighter. Slippery snake. Morrell got rocked right now, guys. It was a left hook. It was a winging left hook that actually rocked Morrell. You can see that Morrell is getting shook by these punches.
Total punches in round 1, Morrell 17, Ikhateev 19 landed shots. So a good start for the Russian.
And you already see some swelling and some welts around David Morrell's left eye. Those right hands are getting in.
Yeah, counter right there from Ikhateev.
It's going to be a long night for Morrell. I was wrong about Ikhateev.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Sergio, I'm worried about Ikhateev if he gets to the 8th and 9th round. He's already breathing heavy.
Well, he has a chance not to get there. I mean, the way he's winging punches, how strong he is, he's throwing the right shots.
Yeah, that left landed. His path to victory is going to be sooner than later, that's for sure. And he's putting everything into these shots. Looks like a slight cut over the right eye of Ikhateev. Plodding forward, that's what he loves to do. And Morrell now trying to take the air out of this round a little bit, wisely. But he's got that machismo, Sergio. He's been saying it all week. I don't know that he's going to sit there and pull the Tom and Jerry routine. He wants to go fire for fire with this guy. He just got caught with the right. He was frozen, and Ikhateev may sense a moment here.
He's been sensing this moment because he's catching him with that left hook.
Morrell trying to laugh it off, but this is serious business.
Morrell just turned this into a fight. He's going to have to get the respect of Morrell.
And that cut is opened up now as Morrell says, I want more.
And this is Ikhateev's fight, guys. He wants a firefight. Heavy hands, heavy artillery. The Russian came to win tonight.
This is not Tom and Jerry, it's G.I. Joe.
He's got a little nick on the right eye. Got it? We got to think in there, okay? Tengo que pensar ahí adentro. Look, now you got to think. Think before you do anything, okay? Think and then get your jabs off. Put it in the back.
Ему надо Имам, ему надо побольше работать по животу. Смотри, когда ты сейчас попал, ты опять зарядился на левый сбоку. У него высоко левый и правый локоть.
And this is where they both got in a firefight. There you see Ikhateev right on the tip of the chin. That's a very difficult punch to land, and he landed it. You can see the legs buckling. Morrell went backwards. He had to respect the power of this tough and strong Russian, and back he comes with a nice counter. It wasn't enough to keep him off.
So here we go, round 3. How much longer will this fight last?
Good power shot, power jab by Ikhateev, and you could hear the concern in the voice of Ronnie Shields in the corner of David Morrell. They want him to box and use his length, use that jab, and avoid a firefight.
Hey, they said the same thing to Tim Bradley against Ruslan Provodnikov after Tim Bradley got so much heat for beating Manny Pacquiao. He had a point to prove, and you sense maybe Morrell has that same mentality.
Absolutely, and Sergio mentions, these tough moments. Ronnie Shields, one of the best guys you can have in your corner. He's guided a lot of great fighters to championships, Vander Holyfield, Pernell Whitaker, Vernon Forrest. Let's see what kind of adjustments Morrell can make.
All the adjustments he needs is to use his advantages, and that's that jab. You gotta get this guy on the end of your punches. You gotta use your footwork and try to make it more of a boxing fight instead of just a fist fight.
Yeah, you want to take the air out of the tires, so to speak.
And believe it or not, don't take those shots gloved up like that, because they still have an impact. And whenever you're giving a puncher and encouraging him when he's touching something, you're helping him out. You want to make him miss completely, make him swing it just like that.
Sat out on that right hand. And Ikhateev is willing to eat one to land one, that's for sure.
Nice foot feints right there. Every time Morrell foot feints, Ikhateev falls for it.
I have to be impressed with this big start from Ikhateev, especially after the turbulent week. I mean, Sergio, how would that affect something like you?
I mean, it's never happened, but anytime you're dealing with uncertainty of your opponent and what's going to happen, whether you're going to be fighting or not, and the outside distractions, you start worrying about that instead of your actual fight. So it can have mental effects.
Well, I don't think it doesn't matter who Ikhateev's opponent, he's going to fight the same way. And that's what he's doing right here. It's been quite effective as he's winning this third round.
He may have won the first or 2 rounds also.
No, he's definitely in this fight, and he got the respect of Morrell by rocking him already. Nice jab there by Morrell. And I'd like to see him start doubling up that jab and not bringing back that jab all the way back to his chin. He has to leave it out, because anytime Ikhateev times that jab, he comes hard over the top.
Nice exchange there for Morrell. And blood continues to ooze out of the right cut, or the cut over the right eye of Ikhateev.
And Morrell should be aiming at that cut. You know, every jab, every single shot should be aimed at that, right at that cut. Open that up.
Another good body shot from Ikhateev. He is not ignoring it.
Downstairs and upstairs. A nice right hand, or left hand rather, for Morrell. And he's trying to build himself up. You can see that he's trying to get his confidence going. And there he is dancing. That'll help.
Работай по корпусу. Ты мало ему работаешь по корпусу. Вот он.
Walk him down, yeah.
Имамчик.
Walk him down, walk him down.
Дыши глубже. Давай, 4 глубоких вдоха. Имам, я хочу, чтобы ты побольше по животу ему работал.
Be smart in there. Come on. No. Use the jab, use the jab. What's that jab?
And this is where a tall fighter needs to actually start fighting smaller. Bend your knees. Ikhateev, the shorter fighter, knows how to fight these taller, upright fighters. And look, that's the problem he's having. Morrell's getting hit in between the shots. A lot of boxers hate when fighters punch in between them because they can't get a combination started. They can't use their advantages. Ikhateev came with a game plan, and he's executing it perfectly so far.
Ikhateev, who KO'd his first 9 opponents, is looking for another knockout here. And every time he touches Morrell, even if it's a blocked punch, it affects the Cuban.
Well, that's the thing about that peekaboo defense. You know, whenever you have a fighter that punches so hard, it's still going to have an effect. I mean, you're only blocking it with 10 ounces of leather. It's still going to be a powerful punch.
And Mike, another Russian, Beterbiev, when he fought Bivol after the fight said, man, even if I blocked his punches, I was still getting hurt.
Ikhateev clearly has very heavy hands. We can hear the punches from ringside, but this isn't a brawler. You see the foot feints from Ikhateev. You see the body punching. This guy is defensively responsible as well.
And that's the thing about the Russian school of fighting. You know, they can be naturally gifted with power, but they still have the foundations. They still have the footwork, that brilliant jab that Bivol has. Beterbiev with the footwork. And Ikhateev, you know, he's built like a tank, but he's clever with the punches that he throws and he selects.
And here's Morrell. This is when he's at his best. At distance, snapping the jab and following it up with a left hand there.
Yup, and watching out and the shots that are intercepting. Look, see, that's what Ikhateev is relying on. Now Morrell caught onto that with foot feints and not throwing that jab with intention to land all the time. You know, sometimes you got to throw the jab to land. Sometimes you got to throw to set up something, or sometimes you just got to jab and feint it.
Morrell switching stances, trying to confuse Ikhateev. Oh, that right hand on the top of the head, Sergio. That affected Morrell a little bit.
And that's another thing. Whenever you have someone guarding like that, you find a way. If you remember Gennady Golovkin with that corkscrew hook that he found over Rubio, that's what you do with fighters that just keep their hands up. You find a way to penetrate and pierce that guard with power.
We're in the 4th round of a non-stop action fight between David Morrell, who's ranked in the top 5 by all the organizational bodies, Mike. This would be a massive upset.
wouldn't just be a massive upset, Todd. It would be 2 consecutive losses for David Morrell, a fighter that many have picked to be one of the best fighters in the entire sport.
Boy, an uppercut landed, but the referee's going to say that Ikhateev pulled Morrell down.
I would like to see his back was towards us. I would like to see if that was a punch that landed in the solar plexus or it actually landed in the chin.
Yeah, as Mike mentioned earlier, Morrell about a 6-1 favorite.
Morrell doesn't want to be against the ropes. This is Ikhateev country. That's exactly where he wants him at. Keep the fight in the middle of the ring and keep moving in circles. Don't go backwards.
Yeah, speaking of backwards, I want to see Morrell push Ikhateev backward. Ikhateev likes to roll forward, make him fight going backward. Let's see if he can do that.
Yeah, a lot of tanks, a lot of strong fighters hate moving, getting pushed back like that. Easier said than done, though, Mike.
One more friend. Good boy. You're doing good. You're too smart for this guy. This guy's getting tired.
Jim. Relax.
Nice right hand right there. See, that's what you got to do with that high peekaboo defense. You find a way right up the middle. That's where there's an avenue. See, the guard, that left hook just barely missed by Morrell, but Ikhateev's uppercuts are landing nicely, and that was a push down. Good eye there, Todd.
Hey, I know a lot of people watching right now are probably asking the question, wait, this isn't quite the Morrell we saw against Benavidez. Did the Mexican monster take something out of him, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I just think we got to give Imam Ikhateev a lot more credit. I mean, this was an unknown fighter that demands respect now.
And you heard in the corner, Mike, for Ikhateev, they love what he's doing.
You have to love it. Ikhateev's fighting with authority, with a lot of confidence. Again, the foot feints, he's confusing Morrell. This is not just a brute force in there.
And they're not the most eye-catching foot feints. I see what you're saying, Mike, and you're right. It's a heavy foot feint from a heavy, strong fighter, but they're still doing the job with Morrell.
Former light heavyweight champion Antonio Tarver keeping a close eye on this one. What are you seeing, champ?
I can't hear anything.
We can hear you, Antonio. Are you there, buddy?
Okay, it's a great fight, man. David Morrell is in a hell of a fight with Ikhateev. Good shot by David with the right hand. I believe David got to invest in that body if you want to take some steam out of this guy. He's a very strong fighter. This is a 50-50 fight. I don't know how this one's going to end, but they're giving us the action that we want.
Indeed, and that left hand that Morrell just landed really took some steam out of Ikhateev. That's the first time I've seen him really hurt. It looked like he just clipped him again.
No, I think 3 solid body shots finally got the respect of Ikhateev, and he's hurt to the body. And you can see him breathing in deeply. Doesn't like those body shots as Imam Ikhateev right now. Morrell should keep focusing on that because he finally seen a little chink in the armor of the Russian.
Finally, Morrell's trying to bully Ikhateev now. He's got him against the ropes. And at distance, this is not where the Russian wants to be.
Heavy right hook to the body, which is what's doing the damage. Ikhateev doesn't like these shots, and you can see him breathing heavy every single time he gets a break.
Mike, did you think this could be the fight of the night?
Absolutely, Todd. I didn't think it would be this competitive, though. So that's the big surprise for me. And not just breathing heavy. Now you're seeing Ikhateev blood dripping from his nose. And in his last fight against Palacios, his left eye was swollen shut.
I didn't think it was going to be this competitive. I thought it was going to be a fire fight for 2 or 3 rounds. We're getting a better fight, a longer fight, and a more competitive fight than I expected.
But Morrell is really feeling himself right now, high-stepping, using the feints, taunting Ikhateev, who takes another deep breath. Oh, that was a mistake for Morrell. He got too cute.
Excellent timing in the shots of Ikhateev, man.
Right hand sends him down.
You do not play with fire. Ikhateev has fire in those hands. Morrell got a taste of it.
The ultimate wake-up call for David Morrell.
David, mírate. Está bien, ¿verdad?
And Imam Well, Sergio,
No, listen to me, man.
he got too cute at the wrong time.
You don't get cute with monsters like this, man. That's the reason Ronnie Shields is unhappy. He's been unhappy in this corner. He's dancing, he's smiling, he's shucking his jabbing, but he's not fighting off this guy. Where's the jab? Where are the feints? Where are the angles? You gotta box this monster away. Don't fight him off and stay off the ropes.
Mike, up until this point, it was Morrell's best round, I thought.
Morrell was doing a great job. He was starting to gain Kataev's respect, and that was a looping overhand right. Morrell's pretty shook up. I think he's lucky that the round was ending there, Todd.
And Morrell had his hand up. It's just he was in a wrong angle. He still was vulnerable to that shot. Too comfortable.
You know who he's acting like right now? Anthony Joshua. When he gets knocked down, he starts playing and taunting even more. Morrell was bowing to the crowd right before the end of that round.
You know what? Good observation, Todd, because I also saw Morrell looking at the crowd, kind of talking to the crowd. That's another thing Joshua was doing, looking at everyone but his opponent.
Let's see how hurt Morrell is now. Does it linger into the 6th? He's got to buy some time here. Just stick and move.
You got to use those legs, the slickness, the jab, and do not exchange right now. You gotta shake off these cobwebs.
Mike, I don't think we've seen one clinch in this fight either.
I can't recall a single clinch. This has been an incredible action fight. We have drama, and Kataev, 10-8 rounds in the last round, he may have a clean sweep.
And I'll tell you why there's no clinches, Todd. We've seen it from the first round. When Morrell tried to clinch, it's Kataev that hurt. He was able to catch him with a right hand over the top. Kataev doesn't like to clinch. That's the first time we've seen him try to initiate one. But he'll punch with one free hand if he has it.
Can Kataev's cardio hold up? That's the real question. He's put a lot of effort into the first 5 rounds.
Todd, I thought Kataev really gassed out in that fight against Palacios in March, and I think he's done a better job pacing himself this time. I think he learned a lot.
And Kataev dropping his hands to his waist, but Morrell content just to let him stand there.
Look, anytime a guy dropped his hands around me, I would throw a straight shot right in the breadbasket.
But he is looking pretty tired now, right?
He's been looking tired, but Kataev might be playing possum because anytime he looks tired like that, he swings over the top.
Oh,
just like that.
Quick counter left, but Morrell ate that one pretty good.
Kataev has like a rat trap with that left hook. Anytime they touch him just remotely close, he snaps with that left or that right hook.
A real challenging moment in the career of David Morrell, even more so than his fight with Benavidez. He was never in the kind of trouble he's in right now.
Two different types of power. Benavidez was a huge puncher at 168, and he did it with volume, with speed, with combinations. Kataev does it with brute strength and single power shots.
Boy, Imam Kataev has had a couple of wins over Cuban fighters in the past. It was a World Series of Boxing in 2018. He beat Julio Cesar La Cruz, who was a 2-time Olympic, 5-time world champion. He also beat Arlen Lopez, another 2-time Cuban Olympic champion. So he knows how to beat these guys.
Absolutely, and I think it's a really big statement for Imam Kataev. That was the first knockdown of David Morrell's career. Even David Benavidez didn't knock him down.
But Morrell showing flashes of great offense. He just has to be wary of the counter shots.
Nice combination Morrell's putting together here. Kataev coming forward, but finally it's Morrell trying to get respect back.
Good bounce back round for Morrell. Well, let's look at the current light heavyweight rankings. And Mike, a win here by Kataev would certainly shake things up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dimitri Bivol is the Ring Magazine champion. Could be facing Beterbiev in a rematch, though it is not set yet. And of course, we have David Benavidez fighting Anthony Yarde November 22nd. But with a win here, Kataev, I think, is right in line for a title shot.
Good shot, right? And this is what we've been seeing throughout the fight. These in-between intercepting shots that Kataev has been landing to Morrell. And Morrell trying to get an offense started, but he can never get more than 2 punches because it's Kataev punching in between the shots and stopping that.
Well, Morrell did say, I'm coming in complete beast mode, but Mike, he's trying to out-beast maybe a bigger beast.
David Morrell is going to have to land something big, in my opinion, to gain his respect and change the trajectory of this fight. He keeps moving backward. I want to see him moving forward.
The only way I could see this fight turning around, it ain't gonna be upstairs, guys. Kataev keeps that guard really high. You can see he has big shoulders, very muscular, so he's strong doing that. It's gonna be downstairs to the body. You know, start gutting him down to the midsection, the torso, come around the guard. But the body's gonna be the way to go.
We're in round 7, and if you're just joining us, Kataev knocked Morrell down for the first time in his pro career. Morrell had to get off the canvas, and you could argue that Morrell has lost every round, or maybe you give him 1 or 2, Sergio, but he has got to shine here over the last 4.
Yeah, man, and we might be seeing an early preview of Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson, because it's another southpaw orthodox fighter, a volume strong puncher in Kataev, and Zepeda the same way.
Earlier we showed you our fan zone before the fight. 90% of you said that Morrell would win. Now it's down to just 23%. Another left hand there for Kataev.
Yeah, I mean, as smart as Morrell is, he's still falling for that same looping shot. He should be punching and going under that shot, punching and dipping now. These are all adjustments that he needs to be doing. They need to remind him that in the corner, that high guard defense is out now. You got to punch, dip, punch, block.
Sergio, is Kataev just better than you thought he was, or is Morrell maybe not as good as perhaps we thought?
Nope, I have to give all the credit to Kataev. Let's not take nothing away from David Morrell. We know he's good. We know he's the goods. He's strong. He has that Cuban amateur background, but no, Kataev is the real deal and a dangerous puncher.
And Mike, imagine if somehow Morrell can somehow turn this around and come back and get a late stoppage. This would really do wonders for his career.
Todd, I think we're probably in the stage now where Morrell's probably going to need at least a knockdown. I don't know that he's won more than 1 or 2 rounds.
Little quick pot shot there from Morrell. Any jab will do at this stage. And Kataev's cardio has held up pretty well, but still a ways to go. Good combination there from Morrell.
Kataev reminds me of Arthur Abraham, if you guys remember. I mean, he has that same frame, that same strength, that earmuff defense, and he knows how to back up fighters, take everything they got and come right back. Just very difficult style to face.
And after a great round, why is Morrell doing this, Sergio?
Because he has no other choice. He's got backed up to the ropes, and the ring's getting smaller and smaller for David Morrell.
Good round there for Morrell, and he needed one. Boxers in 4 weight classes from around the world are competing for $200,000 in prize money. And Jose Sulaiman's trophy is on the line at the Grand Prix, organized to discover and showcase the next generation of boxing superstars. Boxers can't be older than 26 years old or have more than 10 pro fights. Tune in Wednesday, August 13th. So you probably put that one in the bank for Morrell.
Come on, man, let's go to work. Let's go to work, Ichiko. All right, come on, let's go to work. Ты слышишь меня? С тела работай, мышцы.
And you can see him getting up. I love the composure that I'm seeing from Kataev. I don't know what they said in that corner because I don't speak Russian, but I know that the way they said it, they're calm, they're collected, and you can see that Kataev is not breathing hard anymore in that corner, so he caught that wind.
And you
wonder when he's going to need.
Yeah, you wonder if Kataev almost took that round off. Not a lot of activity from him.
Yeah, absolutely positive that's what he was doing there, and really Kataev's going to benefit from this being a 10-round and not a 12-round fight. Not great for David Morrell.
So at the very least, Morrell has to win these 3 rounds, but he most likely may need a knockdown as well. Kataev has that 10-8 round in his back pocket.
It really surprises me that Morrell hasn't thrown that straight left hand to the chest. of Kataev. I mean, he has his hands down. He's making himself more square, a bigger target. Stop aiming at the face. Just aim at the chest, the torso, the belly, but it has to be a single shot. Because as soon as Morrell starts throwing twos and threes, Kataev punches in between.
Kataev didn't like that. Felt that Morrell was punching on the break. Sergio, you seeing any lingering effects from that 5th round knockdown for Morrell?
No, but I know that I see that he respects Kataev now. He's not punching in combinations. You know, that's what Morrell is known for, backing up fighters, throwing great combinations, and he's not doing that against a fighter that's waiting to counter. Kataev is strong, he's smart, and he's always dangerous.
When Morrell would really love to land one of those straight left hands on the button.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the chin. Todd, that's what I'm saying. Start throwing that left hand at the chest. Land something to get Kataev going backwards off guard. Then you could start something.
Morrell trying to use Kataev's off-balance moment there to score a shot.
I think the biggest surprise for me here is that Kataev is beating Morrell to the punch. He's overwhelming him, and I want to see Morrell let his hands go a bit.
Yeah, you know what? Good observation, Mike, because he's beating him to punch, but not with speed. He's doing it with timing, you know, because Morrell, you better be careful. Morrell just got caught, you know, gloving up. Kataev is punching right in between the guard, and it's not going to take a full shot for him to get rocked again. Timing beats power, and timing beats speed.
In his last fight, this is when Kataev started melting. Had nothing left in the tank, but he's still firing away here.
And here's another thing Kataev does. He just took a big punch, so he could take a shot. Because Morrell landed a nice left hand. He took one step back, got right in the fire.
And he's back Morrell up again. It was Morrell's round up until that point. Kataev trying to steal it late. I don't know, Sergio.
Садись. Давай внимательно. Имам, без подготовки справа не бей. Понял меня? Откинь голову назад. Вперед голову откинь чуть-чуть. Имам, откинь голову вперед.
Cuando él se acerca, tiene que soltar las dos manos.
You can throw 2-3 punches and get out of there.
2, 3, 4 y te mueves.
Okay? Don't get on the rope, but get back.
No te pongas en las hojas.
Look.
Escucha.
Double the jab, left hand. Nice. Дыши глубже. Дыши глубже.
Doing good.
Еще глубже. Джим, до стопа. Мам, послушай меня. Ему надо обрабатывать живот. И не спеши, раздергивай его сначала. Раздергивай. Понял меня? Давай, 2 раунда.
You need to tell him you gotta win these 2 rounds to make sure.
2 раунда. Тебе надо боксировать. Боксируй, боксируй, боксируй.
Don't let him go.
You heard Kambosos' trainer say we've got to win these last 2 rounds just to make sure.
Kataev's trainer, absolutely. Mr. Kambosos giving the right advice. Don't let this guy slip up. Win these last 2 rounds.
Mike, do you think Morrell needs a knockdown?
I do, Todd. David Morrell, again, I don't think he's won. Maybe you can give him 3 rounds. We're not scoring it, but it just feels like a fight that Kataev is in control of, and he's not slowing down.
Hey, listen, I normally lean towards the boxer instead of the pressure puncher, but Kataev is more than just pressure. He's been having the better timing, better power, landing the cleaner shots, and coming forward with the pressure. And right now, I'm favoring Imam Kataev.
And remember, one of the scoring criteria in boxing is effective aggression, and Kataev has aced that part of the test.
And defense is also a criteria, but see, when you're giving your opponent something to hit with the gloves up, I'm not really counting that as defense. You got to make them completely miss to get credit for that.
And we can't forget, David Morrell closed strong against Benavidez. He dropped Benavidez in round 11 of that fight and won a couple of the last 3 rounds on 1 card, 2 on the last 3, and 1 of 3 on the 3rd card.
And look at the stats there. 62 power shots landed for Morrell, 96 for Kataev.
Those numbers pretty much are seeing what we're seeing. This is a Kataev fight.
Well, Morrell dropped Benavidez, as you mentioned, in round 11. He doesn't have that luxury here. There is no round 11 as he pops him with a straight left. He's got to do the job now. Only 4.5 minutes left in this fight. Kataev still moving forward. I know, Mike, you wanted him to try and have Morrell back Kataev up. He just hasn't been able to do it.
it just seems like Morrell is not fighting with enough urgency right now for being in the penultimate round, down on the cards. He's, fighting a little cute in there, dancing, moving, jabbing.
Kataev, 31 years old, and look how much success. Oh, it's Morrell finally opening up, and he clipped the chin there.
There's your urgency, Mike. You wanted it. That's what he needs to do right now. He needs to fight off this beast.
Hey, we have war grounds out in Carson, California, the other tennis center. Maybe we have the East Coast version of Carson here tonight.
Beautiful venue, Louis Armstrong. Maybe.
He's got him rocked, baby.
Because this is music to our ears right now, Todd. Beautiful, violent action, man, by both sides. And Kataev not letting off.
And Morrell answering the call right when you think he might not have much left. He lands a shot like that.
What a fight.
It's mano versus mano.
Morrell finding a home with that uppercut. Kataev eating both those uppercuts and coming forward.
Morrell more experienced on the big stage under the bright lights. Trying to separate himself here in the ninth. But Kataev always dangerous. Big time action in the Big Apple.
Get out. Put your hands down. Come on, give me the water. Look, man. Escucha. Champ. Escucha, campeón. I need you to keep your hands up. But I need you to keep punching. Okay? Okay? That's what we need. All right? Look. Let's go to work in there. You gotta go to work.
Keep your hands up and keep punching, champ, is what they're telling him in the corner. That's exactly what he was doing against the ropes. The problem is, Kataev ate all that up and wanted more. Came right back and got some of his. The power is on the side of Kataev, and Morrell is feeling it because landing shots like that should be backing up strong guys like Kataev. Not enough.
Look at that uppercut. That's a Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson special.
Yeah, the problem is Mike Tyson went down. Morrell, I mean, he ate that up, but Kataev is a beast.
David.
They'll take a close look at Kataev.
Come here. Toque guante. Time in.
This kind of reminds me a little bit of Jermaine Taylor versus Carl Froch. Remember, he stopped Taylor with, 14 seconds to go. Morrell might have to do that, too.
No, I'll give you a better one. It's Jermaine Taylor and the guy I mentioned earlier, Arthur Abraham. That's exactly what I'm seeing right here. Same style matchup.
Either way, this is a must-see round. Round 10, Morrell versus Kataev. It has been a slugfest that saw Morrell dropped in the 5th.
And Kataev can get a late round stoppage here too, because in the corner we see Morrell breathing with his mouth open, and he has it open right now. He is spent. The legs aren't there. The wind is down. Now it's a firefight, and that's going to benefit Imam Kataev.
Morrell has no option but to get into a firefight.
At this point, he needs to let him go, man. He's behind on this fight. He needs to just throw caution to the wind and go for greatness.
He said we'd see beast mode. It's time to unleash the beast if you're Morrell.
Good body shot. Kataev got a good body shot. I don't know if Morrell knows that he got him down there. You can see Kataev blocking the right side of his body right now.
Is Morrell going to somehow battle back against adversity? Are we going to see a new star born in the light heavyweight division named Imam Kataev?
I think it's the latter, Todd. I mean, this man gets hit with bricks, and he comes right back to build something of himself. He got hit to the body, went right back downstairs, and got the respect with 3 punches to the body.
David Morrell just not throwing many punches there in that sequence. I counted about 15 to 20 unanswered shots.
And now maybe he was saving some energy for the second half of this round.
He'll serve Morrell right, start doubling up his shots. Kataev waited to punch in between the shots, but that breaks the momentum if you start doubling it up on the single side.
Kataev has never been down. Morrell had never been down entering this fight. Things can change in a hurry. 50 seconds to go. It's going to be tough to top this fight tonight.
Kataev does a great job punching through the guard, huh?
Yep, and I noticed that from the very first minute of this fight. That's his specialty. That's the reason Morrell has such a trouble with him. He can never get nothing going when someone keeps intercepting your offense.
I love this bravado from Morrell. He's not wasting time. He won't let Kataev lay on him. A right hand makes Good shot. Almost went down.
Morrell ate that up, but he's hurt. Morrell hurt him with the left hand. Kataev is hurt on his feet.
10 seconds to go.
His legs are none of them, guys. I don't know if Morrell knows that. This is his time.
This is it. Can Morrell do it? Kataev weathering the storm, and he's going to make it to the end of a scintillating battle in New York City. What do you think, Sergio? Who won the fight?
I gotta answer to Imam Kataev, man, from beginning, middle, and end. Anytime the southpaw, the Cuban southpaw, David Morrell got anything going, Kataev extinguished that fire, came right back. It took heart, it took a chin, determination, intelligence. Kataev brought all of that tonight.
The fans won, Todd. That was a great fight from start to finish. Drama, knockdown, and I think whoever wins this fight in the scorecards, you're looking at two guys that are players at 175.
Remember, if it's scored 5 rounds apiece, which it could very well be, the knockdown will prove to be the distance, that 10-8 round 5.
And that's always the case in competitive fights. Those 10-8 rounds will come back to haunt you. A point deduction will come back to haunt you in close fights.
That's my pick, Sergio. I think it's going to be 5 rounds apiece. The edge to Kataev.
I think it's Kataev too as well. We'll see what the judges see, but man, what a fantastic fight. And this is the type of fight I expected with Puello and Matias coming up next. We got it a little bit earlier than expected.
Mike, what do you think? Who do you have winning this fight?
I didn't score the fight, Todd, but I think Imam Kataev pulled this out. It felt like a fight where maybe Morrell won 3 or 4 rounds, but of course the knockdown is going to be the difference either way.
Well, another fight we're hoping turns into a fire fight like this one. It's for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, the rematch at Wembley Stadium. You can buy the pay-per-view now at DAZN.com for this heavyweight clash. Sergio, who do you have winning this one?
I think we got too many great fights coming up, but I'm going to favor Usyk because Usyk is just someone that it's hard to figure out. It's hard to break through that southpaw defense, that momentum, everything going his way. But of course, Dubois has the exact same thing going in his favor.
And here's the handiwork of Morrell there at round 10. It meant Kataev had to go through hell to make it to the final bell.
So did Kataev, though, Todd. That's the thing, man. He was getting hit with some shots. He didn't leave unscathed. Cut, bruised, his face is red, hurt to the body, but that's what he kept doing. He brought up the intensity. That's where courage comes in. You snatch victory from the eyes of your opponent, from the hands of your opponent.
I tell you what, the light heavyweight division is heating up. I mean, it's becoming one of the premier divisions, especially if Kataev can be the fly in the ointment, as we say here in the United States. You think Kataev got the job done 61% to 39. And keep in mind, the only way Morrell's going to win this fight is if the judges give him 6 or more rounds. What's going through Kataev's mind right now?
Well, the longer we're waiting, the more concerned he should be. But I'm telling you right now, with that knockdown in his back pocket, like you said, Todd, that should be the difference in an ultra-competitive fight. But I really like the pressure and the cleaner punching of Imam Kataev. So no matter how long the decision is taken, I think the judges are going to see it the way we saw it.
All right, Thomas Triber has the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and we have a split decision. Judge Tony Lundy scores it 95-94 in favor of Kataev. Judge John McKay scores it 96-93 in favor of Morrell. And Judge Alan Nace scores it 95-94 for your